A huge fleet of Zarvok ships appeared in the sky above Earth one morning, without warning. The ships were black and shiny, like giant insects made of metal. Their engines made the air shake and clouds run away. People in cities looked up and screamed. Governments tried to send messages, but the aliens did not answer right away. The Zarvok were tall and strong. Their bodies had hard shells like armor. Their legs were many, and their arms ended in sharp claws that could cut steel. They came from far away in the galaxy, looking for new worlds to take. Earth was small and weak to them. They saw humans as tiny, soft things that would break easily. Commander Vexthar stood on the bridge of his big flagship. He was the leader of this attack fleet. His eyes were many and glowed green. He watched screens that showed Earth cities burning from the first shots. His mandibles clicked with pleasure. He spoke into the ship-wide speaker, and his voice went out to every human on the planet. "Now, little creatures," said Vexthar, "your weapons are toys, your ships are slow, your bodies are weak. We are the Dominion. We take what we want. You will serve, or you will die." Many humans gave up fast. Armies dropped their guns, cities opened their gates, flags of white cloth waved from windows. But some humans did not give up. Special teams hid in mountains and forests. They planned to fight in secret. They knew the fight would be hard, but they wanted to try. In a quiet part of Africa, far from big cities, there was a savanna preserve. Green grass stretched wide under a hot sun. Animals lived there free from people. A small team of human scientists worked in that place. They studied lions and elephants and other wild creatures. They wanted to save animals that were almost gone. One scientist was named Malik. He had dark skin and kind eyes. He loved animals more than anything. His daughter Aisha came with him sometimes. She was 9 years old, with bright eyes and many questions. Run after small creatures and watch them. She carried a little notebook to draw what she saw. That morning the team was outside their camp. They watched a family of meerkats play in the dirt. Aisha sat on a rock with her legs swinging. She pointed at a small animal digging nearby. "Look, father," she said, "that one is so brave. It is a honey badger." Malik smiled. "Yes, it is very brave. People say it fears nothing, not lions, not snakes, not even bigger animals." The honey badger was small. Its legs looked short compared to its thick body. Its fur was black and white and rough. It moved fast and low to the ground. Its eyes were small but sharp. It dug for food without stopping. Suddenly, the sky grew dark. A loud sound came from above. A single drop pod fell fast. It hit the ground hard and made dust rise high. The pod opened with a hiss. 6 Zarvok skirmishers stepped out. Each one was tall like a tree. Their shells shone in the sun. Their claws clicked as they walked. Aisha hid behind her father. The Zarvok moved quick. They grabbed the humans with strong arms. They pushed them into a line. Malik held Aisha close. "Do not be afraid," he whispered. One Zarvok spoke through a metal voice box. "We take you as prisoners. You will show us your weak world." A hologram appeared in the air above them. It was Commander Vexthar. His huge face filled the sky. His mandibles moved as he talked. "Little humans," he said, "you are nothing. Your planet belongs to us now. Look at you, small and soft, no shells, no claws, no strength." He laughed, a deep rattling sound. Then his many eyes turned to the ground near the humans. A small shape moved there. The honey badger had come closer. It stood on a termite mound, looking up at the tall aliens. It did not run. It did not hide. Vexthar pointed one claw at the animal. "See this thing," he said. "Even your animals laugh at you. This creature has tiny legs, short body, no big teeth, no poison, no size. It dares come near my warriors. It can fight." The skirmishers laughed, too. Their laughter sounded like stones falling. One skirmisher stepped forward. He raised a claw to push the honey badger away, like it was nothing. The badger watched him. It lowered its head. Its muscles became tight. The claw came down fast. The honey badger moved faster. It jumped to the side. Then it turned and ran straight at the big alien. It opened its mouth wide and bit the joint where the claw met the arm. The shell cracked. A green liquid came out. The skirmisher screamed and shook his arm hard. The badger held on. It twisted its head and pulled. The shell broke more. The skirmisher tried to hit the small animal, but the badger was too quick. It let go and ran under the big legs. It bit the soft part under the belly. More green liquid sprayed. The skirmisher fell to the ground, shaking. The other Zarvoks stopped laughing. They looked at their fallen friend with surprise. Vexthar's hologram flickered. His voice became angry. "A small pest," he said. "Kill it now." Two more skirmishers moved forward. They raised energy blades that glowed blue. The honey badger turned to face them. It snarled loud. It showed small, sharp teeth. It charged again. No fear showed in its eyes. The first skirmisher swung his blade. The badger ducked low. It jumped up and bit the leg joint. The blade missed and hit dirt. The badger tore at the armor. It found a weak spot and ripped. The skirmisher roared and fell. The second skirmisher tried to stomp. The badger rolled away. Then it climbed the leg fast. It reached the chest and clawed at the breathing holes. The skirmisher waved his arms wild. He could not reach the small attacker. The badger kept biting and scratching. Green blood covered its fur. The humans watched with open mouths. Aisha's eyes grew big. She held her father's hand tight. "The badger is fighting," she whispered. "It does not run." Malik nodded slow. "Yes," he said. "It fights like it has no fear." Vexthar watched from his ship. Mandibles clicked fast. "This is not possible," he said. "One small animal against my best warriors?" He turned to his officers. "Prepare more troops. I want that thing gone." The skirmishers, still standing, backed away slow. They pointed weapons, but the honey badger did not stop. It limped a little from a cut, but it kept snarling. It walked toward them again, ready for more. Aisha looked up at the big hologram. She saw the commander look angry. She felt something strong inside her. The small animal was showing them all something important. She did not know what yet, but she felt it deep. The sun was high now. Dust floated in the air. The savannah was quiet, except for the sound of the badger breathing hard and the clicks of alien claws. The fight had just started, but already everything felt different. The tiny legs that looked weak had started something big, something the aliens did not expect, something humans had forgotten about themselves. The two remaining Zarvok skirmishers backed up slow. Their big feet made deep marks in the dry grass. They held energy blades tight, but their claws shook a little. The honey badger stood low. Its fur was dirty with green blood and dust. One ear had a tear, but its eyes still burned bright. It snarled again. The sound was small, but full of anger. One skirmisher pointed his weapon. A blue light grew at the end. He fired. The shot burned the air. The honey badger jumped to the side. The blast hit the ground and made a black hole smoke rise. The badger ran straight at him. It moved so fast, the alien could not aim again. The badger leaped high. It grabbed the leg armor with all four paws. Then it bit down hard on the knee joint. The shell cracked loud. The skirmisher screamed and dropped to one knee. The other skirmisher came from behind. He swung his claw down to crush the small animal. The honey badger let go just in time. He rolled under the falling claw. Then he turned and attacked the new leg. He bit the tendon behind the joint. The big alien stumbled and fell face first into the dirt. The badger climbed on his back fast. He clawed at the neck armor. He found a small gap and pushed his head inside. He bit and tore. The skirmisher thrashed wild. His arms waved, but he could not reach the attacker. Green blood poured out. The body stopped moving after a minute. The first skirmisher tried to stand again. His leg would not hold. He raised his energy blade one last time. The honey badger jumped from the dead body. He landed on the chest and ran up to the face. He bit the soft part around the eyes. The skirmisher howled and covered his face with his arms. The badger kept biting. He did not stop until the big body went still. The scientists stood quiet. Malik held Aisha close. She stared at the small animal, covered in green and red. It breathed hard. Its sides moved fast, but it did not lie down. It looked around for more enemies. Above them, the big hologram of Vexstar came back. Eyes narrowed. "This cannot be," he said. "A single pest kills my elite. It is impossible." He turned to his officers on the ship. "Send another squad," he ordered. 10 this time. Make sure the thing dies slow. I want to see it crushed." The humans heard nothing from the aliens now. The hologram went away. The savannah felt too quiet except for the wind in the grass. Aisha whispered to her father, "Is it really over?" Malik shook his head. "No," he said. "Look." More drop pods fell from the sky. They hit the ground far away. Dust clouds rose. 10 big Zarvok warriors stepped out. They carried heavy guns and long spears. Their shells were thicker than the first ones. They moved in a line toward the honey badger. The badger saw them. It lowered its head again. It started walking forward, slow at first, then faster. It broke into a run. The warriors stopped, surprised. "A small thing charges us," one said. They laughed loud. Then they raised weapons. Blue energy shots flew. The honey badger zigzagged. Between the blasts, he reached the first warrior and jumped. He bit the ankle joint. The warrior kicked, but missed. The badger climbed higher. He tore at the belly armor. The warrior dropped his gun and tried to pull the animal off. The badger held tight. Another warrior fired close. The shot burned the badger's side. Fur smoked, but the animal did not let go. It kept biting. The first warrior fell. The badger jumped to the next one. He went straight for the eyes. This time 2 warriors grabbed him. They pulled hard. The badger twisted and bit one hand. The fingers came off. The warriors screamed. The fight became wild. The 10 warriors tried to surround the small animal. They stomped, they slashed, they shot, but the honey badger was always moving. He used their big bodies against them. He ran between legs. He climbed one to jump on another. He bit joints. He clawed weak spots. Green blood covered the grass. The warriors started to shout in fear. One said, "It will not die." Pain. From the flagship, Vexstar watched every move. His mandibles clicked faster. "This animal fights like madness," he said. "No fear, no retreat. It takes hits that would kill my best and keeps coming." He leaned closer to the screen. "Look at its size. Tiny legs, short body, yet it breaks our armor. It ignores our size." He paused, then he spoke loud. "Prepare a full company. 50 warriors. Drop them now. I will not let one creature shame us." More pods fell. The ground shook. 50 Zarvok landed. They formed a circle around the honey badger. The badger stood in the middle. Its body had many burns. Its back leg dragged a little. Blood dripped from its mouth. But it snarled again. It looked at all 50 and chose one. It charged. The circle closed. They shot. They stabbed. The badger dodged most. He took some hits. A spear went through his shoulder. He pulled free and kept going. He bit a leg. He tore an arm. He climbed a back and ripped a neck. The warriors panicked. Some fired wild and hit their own. Some tried to run back to pods. The badger chased them. He brought down 3 more. Aisha watched from far. She saw the badger fight alone against so many. She felt tears in her eyes. "Why does it keep fighting?" she asked. Malik looked at her. "Because it does not know how to stop," he said. "It sees danger and it attacks. That is what it is." The fight went on for a long time. The sun moved lower. The shadows grew long. The honey badger slowed but never stopped. One warrior managed to kick it hard. The badger flew through the air and hit a rock. It lay still for a moment. The warriors cheered. Then the badger stood up slow. It shook its head. It snarled again. It limped forward. Vexthar slammed his claw on the chair. "Enough," he roared. "This ends now. I will go myself." He left the bridge. He went to his personal walker. It was huge with thick armor and many weapons. He stepped inside. The walker dropped to the surface. It landed near the fight. The ground shook. The remaining Zarvok moved back to make room. The walker stood tall. Vexthar looked down at the small wounded animal. "You are brave, little thing," he said, "but bravery is not enough. You will die now." The honey badger looked up. It bared its teeth. It started to walk toward the giant machine. No fear showed in its eyes. Aisha saw the big walker. She saw her father tense. She felt something deep inside. She knew the badger would fight until the end. She wanted to help, but she was small and scared. The badger reached the walker leg. It started to climb slow. Its claws scraped metal. It found a joint and bit hard. Sparks flew. The walker shook. Vexthar laughed inside his machine. Foolish pest. But the badger did not stop. It kept climbing. It tore at wires. It bit tubes. Green fluid leaked. The walker arm swung to hit the animal. The badger jumped to the side. It landed on another leg. It kept attacking. The humans watched quiet. The scientists whispered to each other. "This animal is teaching us something," one said. Aisha nodded slow. "Yes," she said, "it teaches us to never give up." The walker took a step back. Vexthar felt anger grow. He raised a big claw to crush the small fighter. Then Aisha stepped forward. She walked out from behind the rock. Her arm hurt from earlier, but she did not care. She stood between the walker and the honey badger. She looked up high. She opened her mouth and spoke 3 words, soft but clear. "Honey badger don't care." Her voice carried on the wind. It reached the ears of every human there. It seemed to echo in the quiet savanna. The honey badger heard it too. It looked at the girl for 1 second, then it lunged again with new strength. The fight was not over yet. The walker arm came down fast to smash the honey badger. The small animal jumped aside at the last second. The claw hit dirt and made a deep hole. Dust flew up high. The badger landed on its feet. It shook once, then ran back toward the giant machine. It climbed the leg again. Its claws scraped loud on the metal. It found another weak spot near the knee and bit hard. Sparks jumped out. The walker shook. Vexthar inside growled loud. "Fool," he said. "You think you can hurt me?" The badger did not stop. It tore at wires. It pulled tubes. Green fluid sprayed on its fur. The walker tried to shake the animal off. It lifted one leg high, then stomped down. The badger held tight. It moved higher up the body. It reached the chest plate. It clawed at the joints there. The armor started to bend. From far away, the scientists watched. Malik pulled Aisha back behind a big rock. "Stay here," he said. "It is too dangerous." Aisha shook her head. She pointed at the badger. "Look, father, it fights alone. We must help." Looked sad. "We cannot," he said. "We have no weapons. We are too small." Aisha looked at the ground. She saw a sharp stone. She picked it up. It felt heavy in her small hand. She thought about the badger. It did not care about size. It did not care about danger. Maybe she could be brave too. More Zarvok warriors came close. They formed a ring around the walker. They pointed guns. They waited for their commander to finish the pest. One warrior said, "The thing still moves." Another said, "It should be dead by now." Vexthar laughed inside the walker. He moved the big arm slow this time. He aimed careful. He wanted to crush the badger slow so all could see. He spoke loud through speakers. "This ends now, small fighter. Your fight was fun, but now you break." The honey badger looked up. Its eyes met the glowing eyes of the walker. It snarled one more time. It jumped higher. It reached the shoulder. It bit into a power cable. The cable snapped. Blue light flashed. The walker arm jerked wild. Chest plate. The metal dented. The badger kept biting. It tore more wires. Vexstar felt the walker shake. Systems blinked red on his screen. He pushed buttons fast. Nothing worked right. The walker leg buckled. It leaned to one side. Vexstar roared in anger. He opened the hatch. He stepped out on the shoulder platform. He was huge even without the machine. His shell shone black. His claws looked like swords. He looked down at the honey badger. "You dare damage my walker," he said. "You tiny thing with short legs. I will end you with my own hands." He reached down with one big claw. The badger dodged. It ran across the shoulder. It bit the joint of the commander's arm. The shell cracked a little. Vexstar pulled back fast. He felt pain for the first time. He looked surprised. The badger did not wait. It charged again. It leaped at the chest. It clawed at the breathing slits. Vexstar swatted it away. The badger flew through the air. It hit the ground hard. It rolled once, then stood up slow. Looked broken. One leg dragged. Blood came from many places, but it walked forward again. Vexstar stared. He could not believe it. "How does it still stand?" he said. "It takes hits that kill my warriors. It bleeds, but it comes back." The remaining Zarvok watched quiet. They lowered their guns a little. They felt something strange. Fear mixed with wonder. One whispered, "It fights like a demon." Another said, "It has no fear at all." Aisha saw everything. She could not stay hidden anymore. She ran out from behind the rock. She limped because her leg hurt from earlier. She waved her arms. "Stop," she shouted loud. "Stop hurting it." The Zarvok turned to look at the small girl. Vexstar looked down too, his many eyes focused on her. "What is this?" he said. "Another tiny soft thing?" Aisha stood tall as she could. She looked up at the giant commander. Her voice was small but strong. She spoke 3 words, clear and slow. "Honey badger, don't care." The words hung in the air. Then they should. Every human heard them. Malik felt something strong in his chest. The other scientists felt it too. The words were simple, but they carried power. The honey badger heard them too. It looked at Aisha for one long second. Then it turned back to Vexstar. It snarled louder than before. It charged one last time. It climbed the commander's leg fast. It reached the waist. It bit into a soft joint there. Green blood poured out. Vexstar roared loud. He tried to grab the animal. The badger twisted away. It kept biting. It tore deep. Vexstar staggered back. He fell to one knee. The badger jumped to his arm. It bit the claw joint. The big claw dropped useless. Vexstar used his other hand. He caught the badger this time. He squeezed hard. The small body cracked. Bones broke. The badger still bit. It did not let go. Vexstar lifted the animal high. He looked at it close. "You fight well," he said, "but now you die." He squeezed harder. The badger went still at last. Its body hung limp. Dropped it to the ground. The small shape lay in the dust. No movement, no sound. The Zarvok cheered loud. They raised their weapons. They thought it was over. Aisha ran forward. She fell on her knees next to the badger. She touched its fur gentle. Tears came down her face. "You were brave," she whispered. "You did not care." Malik ran after her. He pulled her back gentle. "Come, Aisha, it is done." But Aisha shook her head. "No," she said. "It showed us something. We must remember." The words she spoke before spread fast. The humans in the group repeated them, quiet. "Honey badger don't care." One scientist said it louder, then another, then all of them said it together. "Honey badger don't care." The sound carried on the wind. It reached hidden radios in the preserve. It reached other human groups far away. People in bunkers heard it. Soldiers in mountains heard it. Pilots in broken ships heard it. The words became a spark. In the flagship, Vexthar stood on the bridge again. His arm hurt. His pride hurt more. He watched the screens. The small fight was over, but something new started. He saw humans stand taller. They looked at each other with new eyes. He heard the words repeat on open channels. Honey Badger don't care. He clicked his mandibles fast. This is nothing, he said, just words from a child. They mean nothing. But deep inside he felt doubt. The tiny animal with short legs had broken his walker. It had killed many warriors. It had fought until the end. And now humans repeated 3 words like a promise. Night came slow. The savannah grew dark. Stars appeared above. The Zarvok gathered their dead. They left the honey badger body where it fell. They did not touch it. They felt strange about it. Aisha sat near the small body. She did not cry anymore. She looked at the stars. She thought about the fight. She thought about the badger. It did not care about being small. It did not care about being hurt. It just fought. She whispered the words again. Care. This time, the words felt bigger. They felt like a plan. They felt like hope. Far away in hidden places, humans started to move. They picked up weapons. They fixed radios. They planned attacks. They said the words to each other like a secret code. Honey Badger don't care. The aliens thought the fight was won. They thought Earth would fall easy. But something had changed. One small animal and 3 words from a child had started a fire. The fire would grow. The night sky filled with stars above the savannah. The air felt cool after the hot day. Smoke still rose from burned grass. The Zarvok warriors stood in a wide circle around their fallen commander. They looked at Vexthar with worry. He sat on the ground, holding his hurt arm. Green blood dripped slow from cuts on his shell. His many eyes stared at the small body of the honey badger. It lay still in the dirt. No breath moved its sides. Vexthar stood up slow. He walked to the badger. He looked down long. He felt strange inside. This tiny thing with short legs had broken his walker. It had hurt him, a great leader of the Dominion. It had killed many of his best fighters. Now it was dead, but the victory felt empty. He turned to his warriors. Take the body, he said. Burn it. We leave this place now. The words sounded weak, even to him. One warrior stepped forward. Commander, he said, the humans. They repeat words. They say them over and over. Vexthar listened. He heard it then. Soft voices from the small group of scientists. They stood together in the dark. They spoke the same 3 words again and again. Honey Badger, don't care. The sound was quiet but steady. It carried far in the night air. Vexthar clicked his mandibles fast. Words, he said, just words from weak creatures. They mean nothing. But deep down, he knew they meant something. The words had power. They made the humans stand straight. They made their eyes shine different. In hidden places across Earth, the words spread fast. Radios crackled in dark bunkers. People whispered them in tunnels. Soldiers said them before they picked up guns. Pilots repeated them in broken ships. Children in safe rooms learned them from parents. The words became a promise. They became a way to fight back. In one mountain camp, a group of soldiers sat around a small fire. One man said the words first. Honey Badger don't care. The others joined in. Soon the whole camp chanted it loud. They laughed. They felt strong. They remembered the story, already spreading. The small animal that fought giants. The girl who spoke the truth. Far in the ocean, a submarine crew heard the message through static. They looked at each other. The captain smiled slow. He said, Honey Badger don't care. The crew answered back. They turned the ship toward enemy targets. They felt no fear anymore. In ruined cities, people came out from hiding. They found old weapons. They made new ones from scrap. They told each other the story of the badger. They told about the child. They said the 3 words like a battle cry. Vexthar returned to his flagship. He sat in his chair. His officers waited quiet. They saw the change in him. His shell had cracks. His arm hung limp. He looked tired. "Report," he said. One officer spoke. "The humans fight back, sir. Small groups attack our patrols. They use traps. They hide in forests. They strike fast, then run. Our warriors die in strange ways. One small human killed 3 of ours with a simple blade. Another used fire to burn a quick ammo. Squad. They do not run. They come at us even when hurt." Vexthar listened. He thought about the badger. It took hits. It bled. It broke. But it kept coming. The humans did the same now. Another officer added, "The words spread, sir. Everywhere our channels pick them up. Honey Badger don't care. Our troops hear them too. Some laugh. Some look scared." Vexthar stood up. He walked to the big window. He looked down at Earth. The planet looked small from space, but now it looked dangerous. "Send more ships," he ordered. "Double the patrols. Burn their hiding places. Leave no place safe." The orders went out. More ships came from deep space. They dropped bombs on forests. They shot at mountains. They searched cities. But the humans did not stop. They moved faster. They hid better. They attacked at night. They used the land they knew. Days passed. The Zarvok lost more warriors. Every loss hurt. Every dead body made the others question, why do these small things fight so hard? Surrender. In the savannah, Aisha sat near the spot where the badger fell. Malik built a small pile of stones there. They placed flowers on top. Aisha touched the stones gentle. She whispered the words again. "Honey Badger don't care." Other people came quiet, scientists, friends, local people. They added stones, they said the words, they left small gifts, a feather, a drawing, a piece of metal shaped like a badger. The pile grew. It became a marker, a sign that something important happened there. One night, Aisha could not sleep. She walked outside. She looked at the stars. She thought about the badger. She thought about her words. She felt proud and sad at the same time. Malik found her. He sat beside her. "You started something big," he said. Aisha nodded. "I just said what I saw," she answered. "The badger did not care. It fought because it had to." Malik smiled. "Yes, and now many humans fight because they have to. They remember the badger. They remember you." Fleet grew restless. Warriors talked in quiet corners. They spoke about the small animal. They spoke about the words. Some said the Dominion made a mistake coming here. Others said the humans were crazy. But all agreed on one thing. The humans would not stop. Vexthar felt the change too. His officers brought bad news every day. Losses grew. Supplies ran low. Ships broke and could not be fixed fast. The warriors looked tired. Their shells lost shine. He called a meeting. All commanders joined on screens. He spoke slow. "We came to take this world easy. We thought the humans weak. We thought them soft. But one small creature showed us different. It fought with no fear. It died, but its spirit lives. The humans carry it now. They say 3 words that mock us." He paused long. Then he said, "We must decide. Do we keep fighting, or do we talk peace?" The commanders looked shocked. One spoke loud. "We are the Dominion. We do not talk peace. We take." Another said quiet. "But at what cost, sir? Our ships break. Our name loses honor." Vexthar listened. He thought about the badger one more time. He remembered the tiny legs. He remembered the charge. He remembered the bite. He remembered the last squeeze when the small body went still. He made his choice. "Send a message," he said, "to every human channel. We ask for talks. We offer terms. The message went out. It traveled fast. Humans heard it in every hideout. They talked among themselves. Some wanted to fight on. Some wanted peace. All said the words first. Honey Badger don't care. Aisha heard the message on a small radio. She looked at her father. What does it mean? She asked. Malik thought long. It means they listen, he said. Your words reach them. The badger reached them. She smiled small. Good, she said. The talks would start soon. Leaders from both sides would meet. But the fire the badger started still burned. Humans knew now. They could stand against giants. They could fight when all seemed lost. They could say 3 words and feel strong. The savannah stayed quiet. The stone pile grew taller. Flowers covered it. The wind carried the words far. Honey Badger don't care. The story was not over, but the change had come. A small animal with tiny legs and a child with a brave voice had turned the tide. The meeting place was set in a wide open field, far from any city. The ground was flat and covered with short green grass. Tall flags waved slow in the wind. One side showed the black symbol of the Zarvok Dominion. The other side showed the blue and white flag of Earth. A long table stood in the middle. Chairs waited on both sides. Humans came first. Small groups walked from hidden trucks. They wore simple clothes. Some had old army jackets. Others carried no weapons at all. They stood straight. Their faces looked calm, but ready. Then the Zarvok arrived. Big transport ships landed soft. Their doors opened. Commander Vexthar stepped out first. His shell still showed cracks from the fight. His arm moved stiff, but he walked tall. Behind him came other tall warriors. They carried no guns, but their claws looked sharp. Vexthar looked at the humans. He saw no fear in their eyes. He saw something new. Strength. Quiet power. He remembered the words that played in his head every night. Don't care. The leaders sat down. A human woman named Elena spoke first. She was old, with gray hair and steady voice. We come to talk peace, she said, but we talk as equals. Vexthar clicked his mandibles slow. We agree, he said. The Dominion offers terms. You keep your world. We take no more land. We leave your skies. Elena leaned forward. And what do you want in return? Vexthar paused long. We want trade, he said. Knowledge, resources. We want to learn why your kind fights like that small animal. The humans looked at each other. They nodded slow. Elena spoke again. We accept trade, but our people stay free. No slaves, no control. Vexthar agreed. The papers were signed. The deal was done. After the meeting, Vexthar walked alone to the edge of the field. He looked at the sky. Earth looked different now. Not weak, not small, dangerous in a quiet way. He thought about the honey badger. He thought about the child. He felt no anger anymore. Respect. Years passed. Earth rebuilt. Cities grew tall again. Ships flew high. People told stories about the day the fleet came. They told about the savannah. They told about the badger. They told about Aisha. Aisha grew up. She became tall with the same bright eyes. She studied animals. She worked to save wild places. She visited the stone pile often. It was now a big monument. A statue of a honey badger stood on top. The badger looked fierce, its mouth open in a snarl, its tiny legs strong under its body. On the base of the statue, words were carved. Honey badger don't care. Children came to see it. They touched the stone. They whispered the words. They learned the lesson. Size does not win. Fear does not win. Heart wins. In space, the Zarvok changed too. Warriors trained different. They learned to fight low. They learned to move fast. They learned to never give up. They called it the Badger Way. Vexthar grew old. His shell turned dull. His steps became slow, but he never forgot. Kept a small piece of the badger's fur in a clear box. He looked at it every day. It reminded him of the day everything changed. One day he visited Earth again. He walked to the monument alone. No guards, no weapons. He stood quiet. He looked at the statue. He spoke soft words. "Thank you, small fighter. You taught an empire." A young girl saw him. She walked close. She looked up at the tall alien. "Who are you?" she asked. Vexstar knelt down. "I am the one who lost," he said. "I am the one who learned." The girl smiled. She touched the statue. She said the words loud. "Honey Badger don't care." Vexstar repeated them with her. "Honey Badger don't care." They stood together for a long time, the old commander and the young child, the past and the future. Humans spread out. They reached other stars. They met new aliens. They told their story. They showed no fear. They showed strength. They showed the way of the badger. Some aliens laughed at first. They saw small humans. They saw soft skin. They thought, easy targets. But then they heard the words. They saw humans fight. They saw humans stand. They learned fast. Humans do not break easy. In quiet moments, Aisha sat with her own child. She told the story again. She told about the day the sky went dark. She told about the badger. She told about the 3 words. Her child listened wide-eyed. Then the child whispered, "Honey Badger don't care." Aisha smiled. "Yes," she said, "and we don't care either." The galaxy changed slow. Humans became known, not as the biggest, not as the strongest, but as the ones who never back down. The ones who fight when all seems lost. The ones who carry the spirit of a small, fierce animal. Ships passed Earth. They saw the blue planet. They remembered the tale. They flew careful. They showed respect. The stone pile stayed. The statue stood tall. Flowers grew around it every season. People came from far. They left gifts. They said the words. The honey badger became a symbol, a mark of courage. Tiny legs can carry big fights. Short bodies can hold endless will. Vexstar lived long enough to see peace hold. He died quiet on his ship. His last words were simple. He whispered them to the dark. Honey Badger don't care. His warriors heard. They passed the words on. They became part of the Dominion too. Earth turned on its axis. Days became years. Centuries came. The stories stayed alive. In books, in songs, in hearts. Children played games. They pretended to be the badger. They charged pretend giants. They shouted the words loud. Old people sat on benches. They told grandchildren the tale. They smiled when the children said, Honey Badger don't care. The universe grew bigger. Stars burned bright. Worlds spun. New life woke. But one truth remained. When danger comes, when odds look bad, when everything says run, some beings run, some hide, some surrender. Humans remember a small animal with tiny legs. They remember a child with 3 words. Fight. They don't care. And that makes all the difference.